One of the things as a kid, you start to learn little things about your parents, right? They know a lot about you as you're fairly self self-aware maybe, but not so much as aware of your parents. But one of the things I slowly recognized about my dad over time was he was an extraordinarily proud no sock wearing person. So I don't know where it came from. I think he went up to Boston or someplace up in the Northeast for training back in the day. Maybe saw it was a style and brought it back home. I mean, I remember I've got a picture actually inside here of my dad played soccer as a kid. So my dad was a coach, and there was a puddle in front of the soccer goal for one of our games. And my dad's out there in shorts, his loafers, no socks, and one of those big brooms trying to push the water out of the puddle in front of the goal so that we could play. So standing memory, lots of pictures of me as a kid with my dad, no socks. So as a result, you certainly pick up on it becoming a trend again, right? So you see out there today, it's a lot more popular for folks of all ages not to be wearing socks. And I was out to dinner with my wife the other night. We were sitting next to this gentleman, and I looked down, and naturally, I'm looking at feet, and I see that he's not wearing socks. And so just kind of smiled and chuckled to myself. He's an older fellow. He's probably in his mid to late 60s or whatever, well dressed. And I looked down a few minutes later, and I noticed that he was, in point of fact, not wearing socks. He was wearing hidden socks. And so the hidden socks sit down below down far enough into the shoe that it looks like you're not wearing socks, but in point of fact, you're wearing socks. And it kind of made me chuckle a little bit about how disappointed my dad would have been in it becoming a style rather than an actual thing. And then it made me go back and think a little bit more about authenticity and how there are so many people in this world today that do something because it's in style or it's in fashion rather than being authentic, right? It's not something that they're actually concerned with doing. They're just making it look like it's something that they do. And it goes back and, obviously in the professional world, I always think back to the clients we work with and the professionals that they have around them and how often it is that they end up working with people who aren't genuinely authentic or genuinely capable of delivering on the things that they advertise doing, right? They don't do it all the time. They don't do it with the clients that, that we're working with and whatnot. And so we end up with attorneys that do some work here. We end up with insurance agents that do some work there, M&A brokers that do some work there. And so again, as I, pull back and just think about it, authenticity, and it's a very hard thing to truly understand because somebody says, I do this, you generally want to take them at their word, right? Because it's more difficult to not take them at the word than it is sometimes to take them at their word. So as we're out there, in the regular course of business, it's one of those things that unfortunately we always have to be on guard with is who is not wearing socks and who is fashionably pretending to not be wearing socks. And it's the same thing in the business world, who can actually help you achieve the goals that you're trying to achieve versus who thinks they can do it. So anyways, as you're out there on the day-to-day, don't forget, look for authenticity. It's hard to find. If you liked today's video, hit the subscribe button down below, or better yet, just leave us a comment.